Fantasy Football Show.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Final Plan, the show each and every Friday where James and I run down the deadline day final bits and pieces. My name's Suj.
And my name is James.
Yeah, I said it. I should stop saying James and I, and then you don't get the opportunity to introduce yourself to everybody as...
It's fine. I just let you dig your own hole, mate.
Well, it's fine. Everybody knows who you are now. Final Plan?
Final Plan, yeah. Pre-recording Thursday again, because, yeah, I'm babysitting Fridays now. But me and...
Do you know, you can't... No, it's not actually true. That's one of the things on my hate list. It's not like on the absolute shit list, but it's like if my missus goes out and someone's like, "Oh, so you're babysitting tonight?" I'm like, "No, man, I can't babysit my own flipping kids. That's just called being a dad."
Dad, that's true. Yeah,
babysitting's like getting someone in to sit them. They're my own kids.
I'm not in the work office. I'm not recording PlanetFPL. Yeah. I'm babysitting my own son. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I've never understood how you can babysit your own children. You're just looking after them, which is it's more when other people say, "Oh, you're babysitting." I'm like, "No, I'm just being a dad."
However, spoiler alert, maybe something might be in the works that I'm planning to do for YouTube exclusively on Fridays whilst babysitting my own son. But I need to figure out the logistics of it first, i.e. him maybe screaming.
Nah, it'll probably be when you're giving people bad FPL advice or something.
Oh, they'll scream.
If there's 50-50 options, you could always let Harry decide.
We'll just get him to pick a piece of paper or
something like that.
Mane, Salah. Oh, here we go. It started.
Who was it that... was it Terrier that used to get his cat or dog to pick a team or something?
Oh, yeah. Huddersfield correspondent Mark. Yeah, FPL Terrier, yeah.
Fun fact about Mark, our Huddersfield correspondent... He's come into Planet FPL Live 3 in Manchester. He is.
I don't know if he's going to bring the cat. Yeah, last year he got his cat.
No cats, please, at Planet FPL Live 3. Or dogs.
He'd give his cat selections to make, and his cat beat him.
Yeah, that's bad. That's
very FPL.
Bad.
You know what else is beating us?
I don't know.
Both. Our dead team.
So after this game week 25, there'll be 13 game weeks left, James. Want to know something else about the magic number 13?
It's unlucky. It's also the date in December, which is my birthday, yeah?
It's a number of points I am beating you by.
Is that all?
Get in.
I mean...
it was about 70, 80 point lead at some point you had, surely.
Let's be real about this. After the week that just happened to me, it should have been a lot more.
Got away lightly. Yeah. I feel like I ended on 76 points. I felt like I could have topped 80, 90 at one point, but... it is what it is. I'll still take it. Top 500k now, give or take a couple of places.
Yeah, our zombie team's 445k. I'm now down to...
It's Mo Salah, isn't it? Mo Salah's back in business.
I'm now down to 675k.
13 points is the equivalent of 150,000 spots. Seems about right normally. So
the swing of triple captain Mane, like I did, as opposed to Mohamed Salah, worked out at a swing of 45 points. If I'd been the other way round, or if it had gone the other way round and Salah had got injured and Mane got a goal and assist, and that's all we're talking here is a goal and assist, then I would be inside the top 250k
and
right now.
Max Bones as well. Max Bones.
So at that level, it was the failing, if you will, was worth 400,000 places. No regrets. It's what I always say.
Can't.
No
and middle of the road. The TAA option, middle of the road, I think he ended on, 36 points in total as triple captain?
Sure, triple captain, mate. Yeah. You tell me.
That was the safe option, and that worked out as it was. I thought one clean sheet and one assist would have been all I expected from Trent. And that's all I got.
36 you got from Trent. Obviously, Salah, triple captainers have got 48.
Correct. Interesting. This is going out on Friday, but a couple of nights ago, London Stadium, Wednesday, the game, not wanting to turn it into Tottenham. But
let's talk about it briefly.
It was all right. I thought the thing is, you said to me, was it was it a fair result? Or I suppose if you had said to me prior to the game, and one of the guys that was there who sits behind me said before the game, I would have told you that West Ham are going to sit deep, defend deep, and Liverpool going to win 2-0. What happened? We defended fairly deep, and Liverpool won 2-0. It was as expected. The thing is, Liverpool didn't get out of second gear, really. They might have had 5 minutes in the match where they felt like they were going for it. The rest of it was pretty cruising. We defended reasonably well, actually. Apart from the goal was calamity for the penalty. Didn't need to dive in like that. And the defending for the second goal was a bit sloppy. When Lanzini's the last man left against Ox, he's getting done, mate. So those two incidents were not good. Other than that, we had chances, hit the post and a few bits and pieces. Could have got a goal.
How did you feel when Trent hit the post?
That was funny. that was funny. That was funny. But all in all, it was all right. The two takeaways. I mean, Lanzini's done. I don't know how he keeps getting picked. I turned to my brother. I was like, this guy must be doing something in training that keeps getting him onto the playing field, but he's not doing anything on the playing field.
He's got the David Moyes tapes, maybe.
And we had a right back start who never played for the club before, Jeremy Ngakia.
Ngakia.
Never seen anything of him before. When I took my seat, number 52 on someone's back, you're like, what? I thought it was Ben Johnson, the Ledley's nephew of fame. I thought he had got a start because he'd played a few pre-season games and stuff. Not him. And everybody around was like, who's Ngakia? What is this? But he actually played really well. Considering it's his Premier League debut, coming up against Liverpool, had put in a very good performance for a young kid. I think it could be one of those where it could get disastrous. And he did really well up and down the wing, had a bit of pace, good defensively. Long way to go, but that was the highlight of the night. Was actually that young kid coming through.
Will we see more of him?
Well, look, he's better. I'd rather he played than Zabaleta, like straight up. No, doesn't matter who the opposition is or what. He's better. He's ahead of Zabaleta. And I'd rather see him play than Fredericks as well. Based on what I saw, it's hard to make decisions like that off one game. But I did like what I saw. I think he's better defensively than Ryan Fredericks, and he offered a little bit going forward. And if he's what's the future of the club, then play him. Yeah, give him a chance.
Another one to add to the band of 4.0s who might be playing football. You could get a group of them at the moment. It's interesting, like Ngakia and Japhet Tanganga, both making debuts against Liverpool in the space of this month, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's not the first time that's happened in recent years where you've seen young kids, particularly defensive ones, getting blooded against like Liverpool or Manchester City. It was really interesting, actually. Yeah.
There was sad, ironic booing of Lanzini when he came off 63 minutes. It was not to be surprised. And 73 minutes was the first sack the board chance.
Okay.
Sack the board.
It's building, isn't it?
Yeah, but truth be told, and maybe we should just mention a brief sentence on this. Sack the board is all well and good. Singing shit like Ed Woodward, you're going to die, and then throwing flares into his house is fucking ridiculous, whoever you are. If you're the microscopic chance that you listen to Planet FPL or it's your mate, that's stupid. I can understand the sack the board. Think about it, fans. They own the club. They're not going to sack themselves. It's an illogical chant. It's not going to happen. I understand why they're chanting it. But yeah.
Extreme fandom. Don't worry, it's going into Monday's People's Poll vote.
Good. I think that's actually an interesting topic of conversation.
It might be something that we deliberate on a little bit more on Monday because there's fandom and then there's extremes. And I think just to sum very briefly, that's not fans.
No, it's not, is it?
No.
It's just...
No.
It's not.
No.
It's not. So there we go. That's my start. There's nothing to learn on Liverpool from that performance because it was just too easy for them. Do you know what I mean? Like tactically and all the rest of it, you can't learn anything. The only thing that I did learn, and that is more than likely going to follow through into my transfer of the week. So we'll talk about Gameweek 25. The easy option from Mane to Salah is straightforward enough. Salah's getting in and around chances, having shots. If you can afford to make that jump, I think Mane to Salah is a very easy move to make, especially with Southampton coming up at home. I think I'm going to go Mane to Salah. I don't like buying Mo Salah at the most expensive he is at 12.5. I feel like I'm buying him expensive, but I'll probably just as easy drop back down when I know that Mane is going to be fit again. So I feel like it's a temporary solution. I don't mind point
think personally, obviously I have Mane as well. I'm sitting there with 3.2 in the bank, so it's no problem for me if I want to make the move. I really don't know, you know. I can't remember going towards a weekend and being more indecisive about what I'm doing. And I think it's because I decided very early with the Mane injury that, okay, we need to put the brakes on here. We need to learn information. You know, you think, panic, triple captain's gone. Will he play at West Ham? Was fairly obvious. Probably on the night, I think everybody knew he ain't going to play against West Ham. And then you got the FA Cup games, the Carabao Cup semi-finals. So I really got myself into a headspace of, and this is the most I've done this season, I completely switched off. Mm-hmm. I didn't even watch your game Wednesday night. It wouldn't have been difficult to pick up a stream. I just went, do you know what? Yep. I know what's going to happen with respect. I'll let Suj fill in the gaps.
Yeah.
So the easy move for me is, of course, go Salah. But I'm looking at the Greenwood mistake. I could go straight to Jimenez, but I'd be 0.1 short. I'll go Martin Kelly to Big Tasty, Jamal Lascelles, and then it becomes affordable. Or Diego Rico, whatever I decide. That's another -4 potentially for me. Potentially looking at people that are not Salah in that bracket. So people like Riyad Mahrez, for example.
Yep.
Although he picked up a knock in the semi-final against United. So I think that's put me off that one. Really, really don't know what I'm going to do at the moment. Really unsure. I'm not absolutely convinced about this straight Salah move.
Are you
the fear on it?
Just one free transfer. You're on just one free. Yeah, you're saying that you've got to take a hit. So.
I've taken -4s the last 2 weeks. The fear of not doing it is quite obviously he looks the best captaincy this weekend. That's the issue. And that makes me think, okay, shall I just shut this down before it potentially gets worse? But then if I make that move, which is now going to be 0.2 difference, or maybe even 0.3 if I wait too long, then all of a sudden that idea of them maybe going to Jimenez, it's gone. Unless I sacrifice someone else that I didn't particularly really want to. So I really don't know what I'm going to do at the moment. Sorry about that, kids.
Don't you see Salah as a potential short-term hop on and hop back to Mane when he's fit again?
I don't think there's point hopping. Like if I go to Salah, I'll stay to Salah. I think. And I see so many are going to make that move. And if I can get through this weekend with Salah not returning, then Mane suddenly is going to be the one that looks a great differential in a couple of weeks. And it might be more short-term pain for a longer-term gain, possibly. I really haven't decided. There's every chance I will just go to Salah because the not owning him this weekend now is concerning.
The other thing that hit me in the last couple of days was around where we are in the season now. So Gameweek 25 is going to be gone. A lot of managers are wildcarding.
Yeah, a lot.
And we've talked about holding onto your wildcard for as long as possible, but the disadvantage being that you don't get the benefit of it. But we are now really getting to that point. I think by the end of game week 26 or 27, we'll get to the point where not only will we know about the blanks and doubles and stuff, but we'll have an idea of who's on the beach. That usual shit of Everton, Newcastle, maybe.
Yeah, but we spoke about it. I mean, last year when it got to like game week 29, we went, the ultimates here are on the beach are Everton. And then look at that run of results they put together.
They really
did well
at the end of last season.
Basically the best defensive side in the last 8 game weeks or so last year. So that's not necessarily the case, is it? If you looked at it right now, I'd probably go Palace. Feel like they're right in there, like they'll scrape enough points to stay up. Yeah. They're not going to
even Newcastle and Everton and what have you. I think
Newcastle, I don't feel quite yet. Newcastle have a good run of fixture. I think Burnley the same. I feel like Newcastle and Burnley are more capable of complete destruction than Palace. Like Palace will just keep ticking over at like a point to 1.3 points per game, that kind of range. Whereas I think Newcastle, Burnley could still suddenly just, they've lost 4 in a row. Like, where did that come from? I don't really see that happening with Palace. Newcastle got a great run of fixtures. As I said, I'm obviously considering Jamal Lascelles.
The Big Tasty, as we call him now. So, the FPL website's not coming up on my phone.
Brilliant.
Tell me about the Dead team. Where are we in the Who Got the Assist Zombie League?
Oh, Suj, you're really challenging.
Yeah, you just got to click on the team, mate.
What's worth saying?
We've got up to 400k. We must be doing all right.
You have to thank our friend FPL Vader who pointed out to me that the Zombie team was now beating both of us. Obviously, the captaincy's sitting on Salah, and the way that's worked out with that team now is Laporte's back.
Yes.
So it's like it's got the potential to push on. if we'd have got the forwards right, where we've got Jota and Che Adams sitting in there, if we'd have gone like Jimenez and Cheaper, or even like Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who we'd been considering when we were doing it, for example, this team would be doing really well.
We're on 108, mate. It's not bad.
108, yeah. I mean, that's not bad.
We're 108th in the
Who got
Zombie
the assist?
League.
Zombie League, yeah.
I mean, if we finish top 50 in that, I think that's worth Tom and Nick buying us a pint.
Yeah.
So we put it out there on the internet. If you think that's true, you know where to find those guys on Twitter. Tell them to buy us a pint if we get in the top 50 of their Zombie League. Look, Kevin De Bruyne, Mo Salah as captain, Jamie Vardy, Van Dijk, Trent, Laporte, and probably Ryan will be all right. It's just the Che Adams, Diogo Jota, who is back now from injury.
He is,
Tielemans and Dendoncker that are a bit ropey. I mean, Sigurdsson and Diop and O'Connell are still all right to hold. So, how's the
differential
team? How are we doing on that?
So the differential team had a great week. 83 points for a game week rank of 347,000. Helped by the Liverpool trio that we have in this team. Of Roberto Firmino, triple captain for a 27-point return. Joe Gomez, 8 points, and Alisson in goal, 9 points. Roberto Firmino's ownership is 17%. We are safe at the moment. If players hit 20%, we have to sell. And we're also helped by a trio of Spurs players as well.
Yes.
26 points from Aurea, Son and Ali. And there was also a goal in there from Dominic Calvert-Lewin for 83 points.
Decent return. Alisson's clean sheet, nice. Decent return, 83 points. That's a very good game week round, 347k.
So set in a position now where coming on into this week, I got it at the moment with Dele Alli left on the bench, along with Serge Aurier and Charlie Taylor. Obviously Spurs at home to City, Burnley at home to Arsenal. We have one free transfer. We have 1.7 million in the bank. My instinct is probably to roll, but I do want to highlight some players potentially for us to consider who I've put on our differential watch list at the moment. Few names defensively. We'll start with one we've already mentioned from the Dead team, and a player who may well end up in my team before the FPL deadline this week, my real team, and that's Laporte, 6.3 million. The biggest thing that puts me off Laporte is obviously now the blank in game week 28. And that's the main thing that put me off any City asset at the moment. But yeah, I mean, makes complete sense for this, doesn't it?
You've got 3 weeks in between there, and he could pick up a decent number of points within that.
Yeah, so they've got...
The thing with Laporte, if you buy him, you're going to hold him till the end of the season, right?
Well, injury permitting, and do they get into a stage where the league will obviously be finished before the final game weeks of the season if they're still in the Champions League?
19 points.
Do they just go, we won't... Well, of course it is. It was finished months ago. Do they just get in a position where they go around with saving this fella for the Champions League?
Yeah, I can see that working both ways. At the same time, they don't. He hasn't played that much football, so he's not got risk of burnout. It's just risk of injury.
Tottenham away, West Ham at home, Leicester away for City before the blank in 28, which will be a rearranged fixture against Arsenal, which at time of recording, we haven't had a rearranged announcement yet. There was some rumour that it could be next week, that early.
Wow.
But I don't see that happening. I think it will be one that ends up late, or if Arsenal lose to Olympiacos in Europe, I think game week 29 is an available slot potentially.
Okay.
So you could end up from City blank straight into City double. It's worth bearing in mind, possible. But if that's going to happen, we'll find out in the next 10 to 14 days or so for sure.
Sure.
Other defenders to consider, a couple of Sheffield United prospects. They obviously now blank in game week 28 as well. Ender Stevens, 5.1 million, 2.3% owned. Jack O'Connell, 2.6% ownership at 4.6. There's no point us having to scrimp and save here for Basham or Egan.
Yep.
They have a good run of fixtures. Sheffield United, Palace, Bournemouth, Brighton, blank, Norwich, Newcastle. We'll just sub them for the blank, can't we?
Of course, yeah. It's just, I think that's not a bad shout, Sheffield United players.
A couple of Wolves assets. So we'd very recently sold Matt Doherty. We can't go straight back to him unless we were to sacrifice Aurea. Wolves have a difficult couple. United away, Leicester at home. Then a nice run, Norwich, Spurs, Brighton, West Ham, Bournemouth, Villa, Arsenal, up until game week 34 of scheduled blanks and doubles. And Willy Bolly was back on the bench for the Liverpool fixtures, also very tempting at 1.4 million cheaper. I don't know, he's still got ownership of 1.9% of Dead Teams, obviously.
Or usual.
4.7 million, Willy Bolly.
Not a bad shout.
Yeah.
None other than Laporte, none stand out to the point of let me get them in now. But definitely all considerations. Other than the Sheffield United boys, just because their fixtures are so good.
And big tasty.
Yeah, I mean, Lascelles is there and thereabouts.
I just thought we'd have to cut corners with this team.
No.
Financially. So, yeah, I'd want to build towards getting Laporte or Doherty into there, which means probably not making a move this week. 5 differentials to mention in the midfield department.
Again, all below 10% ownership.
Of course, absolutely. Nicolas Pepe at Arsenal, 9.1 million. Has he come back onto our radars, having now scored a mammoth 3 goals this season? 3 consecutive blanks, but noteworthy is that he's played 80 minutes or more in all of Arsenal's last 3 league games.
Not interesting.
Okay, not interesting. Is Jose Perez at 6.2 interesting again? Now scored over 100 FPL points this season. 8% owned.
Is Jose Perez interesting? That's a very interesting question there, James.
Started 6 of the last 7.
Yeah, he's worked his way into that Leicester team and worked out what his role is within that Leicester team. And he has been scoring goals. I think he scored 5 in the last 6, is it? Something like that. It's decent returns recently.
Yeah, most of them against West Ham, weren't they?
2. Yeah.
Home and away, no? Did he score at your place as well?
Iheanacho scored at our place, I think, wasn't it? No,
He scored as
Damari
well?
Gray scored as well. I don't know if he scored both.
Yes, I think you're right.
Yeah, he's not a bad shout. What's his price now?
6.2.
Fairly cheap. He's on the cheap end of the scale, yeah.
And 3 cheaper players to mention. João Moutinho consistency is always worth a mention. 5.4 million.
A very good asset, isn't he?
83 FPL points. 7 assists this season now. Just the 1 goal. John Fleck at Sheffield United. 5 million. 5.3% owned. The thinking here being we want to move down from either probably Dele Alli or Yuri Tielemans to one of these guys, I think. And then that allows the easy force in of Doherty, Laporte, whatever.
Yep.
And Decore.
Abdoulaye Decore,
Watford, 5.7 million.
5.7.
Everton at home, Brighton away next 2, and then a little bit of a tougher run for Watford.
Decent shouts. All of them decent shouts.
I think that's all they are at the moment this week for this differential team. No, there's none of those 11 that I've highlighted who would make me think, yeah, I've only got 1 forward on the watch list for us at the moment.
Yeah.
And that is Alexander Lacazette. At 2.2% owned, 9.3 million. Can't seem to hit a barn door at the moment. He's obviously suffered with injuries.
He needs his mate back, like Aubameyang, and they need to figure that out.
No goals since game week 15. He has started the last 6 in the league.
That's with like 2.5 months.
With only 1 attack in return. The assist for Aubameyang at Crystal Palace in game week 22.
Yeah. Lacazette can get himself out of that run at any point. He's a good goal scorer, so I don't think I'm gonna hold it against him that he's had so many blanks. He can turn it around at any point.
It is,
I think
of course.
He does need Aubameyang with him.
Podcast release day of Friday is transfer deadline day.
Correct, Amundo.
So, I mean, that becomes very interesting and it would be a huge surprise if something led to Aubameyang leaving Arsenal.
What's your views on Spurs' transfer business then? So I think just to wrap that up, we're just sticking, are we?
I think we are. Should we pick a captain for that team now?
Why not?
Roberto Firmino, home to Southampton. Agree, disagree?
Agree. So I think Liverpool will win.
Alternative options, Anthony Martial at home to Wolves, Riyad Mahrez at Tottenham, Heung-min Son against Manchester City, Calvert-Lewin at Watford, Neil Maupay at West Ham.
No.
Roberto Firmino has not scored at Anfield this season.
Yet.
All right.
He was a threat yesterday. Wednesday night.
Do we give him the benefit of the doubt for the triple captain return?
Yeah, I'll stick with him.
All right.
Stick with Firmino. He's done okay for us.
Tottenham transfer business. Well, difficult to say because
and Bergwijn.
Bergwijn.
Yep.
In from PSV Eindhoven, 25 million. Winger wasn't a priority signing, but it was a signing in an area that I think we were going to be looking for. It come about as a surprising one because I just thought the other priorities would be coming up sooner, right back, although Sergio Aurier has been doing okay lately, and holding midfield players, desperate requirement. Centre-back area needs looking at. These are all areas, and obviously up front with Kane's injury, these are all areas I expected to get looked at first. I think Spurs have taken an opportunity to buy a player at a good age, at a good price, considering he's a full Dutch international. He's been priced in FPL at 7.5 million. You need to see the fella play, as people already moan about his price. Like if he was 5.5 million, you still wouldn't be buying him.
No,
because you need to see it.
Yep.
So you might see it, and he's unbelievable. Obviously, Bruno Fernandes is now done to Manchester United. At the time of us recording, no price. I anticipate it to be expensive. I think 8.5 plus.
I was going to go 9 even, to be honest with you.
Could well be.
I think he will be expensive. And you've spoken about Gedson Fernandes as well, not a consideration really.
No, not at all. Not seen enough from Gedson yet. It's not a critical comment. I don't really know where his best position is yet, or what his uses are going to be for the team.
Yeah,
I think he was brought in as a number with a view to, if there's serious improvement, they'll make the deal permanent.
We've bought Thomas Suchek. Forgive me, any Czech listeners, that I'm butchering his surname there, but I think Thomas Suchek on loan with an option to buy at the end of the season. He's been priced at 5 million, which is cheap, really. I mean, he's an attacking midfielder. I haven't done any of that YouTube nonsense where you get kidded into thinking that he's the next best thing, but his stats are good. Like he's a goal in every other game kind of returns for club and country so far. So he is definitely a goal scoring midfielder. I mean, you can say what you want about the standard of the Czech league and what have you, but 24 years old. We have a real problem in linking midfield and attack, a real problem. Our strikers are isolated. Haller is just a one-man lone guy. So if Suchek is the guy that plays like that, and I have no evidence that he is a guy that will drive and link midfield and attack and likes a shot, then I don't know. I'm keeping an eye on him for sure, hoping that I'll just chuck him straight in on Saturday. Yeah.
Even if he's shit.
Well, don't know, right? They bought him for a reason. Moyes
is he signed or is it a loan?
It's a loan till the end of the season with an option to buy. I'm sure. I don't know why they do that, but they do. We talked about it, then with his loan system.
On the stream,
stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, 5 million. If he's an attacking midfielder who links up midfield and attack, might be a consideration, but I'd say watch this space. As with all these new players that are coming in, right? Unless they've been in the Premier League before. I mean, Sheffield United have put their hand in their pocket and picked up a few players and what have you.
Yeah, there's one coming in from Ghent. Wolves have bought a wide player from Olympiacos. I don't want to talk about them all too much now because obviously with us pre-recording and deadline day being Friday, like stuff might be getting dated really quickly. But we certainly will early next week. It will go in the people's poll as well. We'll look at new signings possibly if that's what you want us to do.
Yep. Interesting deadline day. I don't think it's going to be that busy, let's be honest, really, is it?
I think it might be.
Really? Arsenal confirmed Pablo Mari now as well. Yeah. I think he's coming at 5 million.
I think it might be, actually. Busier than normal January deadline days, I think, because of the needs of, say, United and Tottenham looking for a striker and that kind of thing.
True. At that point, there are very
Chelsea
few,
have done no business, unbelievably, right?
There are very few clubs. They may as well just fucked off the appeal against the transfer window ban and left it because they would have had to pay legal fees and all the rest of it to put that appeal.
Well, that's what I mean.
Right?
So you think they're going to do something,
you may
don't
as well
you?
have just not bothered and said, sod it, we'll ride out the ban. That's mad.
Surely they're going to do something, aren't they?
Yeah, you'd think. But yeah, so if you're taking that point of view where Arsenal need defensive cover, you guys and Man United need attacking input, and then the likes of Brighton, West Ham, Villa, Watford, it's all so tight there that just one or two extra players gives you that little bit extra margin, might make the difference of a team staying up. So it wouldn't surprise me if any of the clubs down there pick up another player or two. I don't know what you're like, but I literally switch off from all West Ham rumours.
Oh, yeah, I do now, yeah.
It's like
sick of it.
Another rumour for this linked with. I hate that phrase, West Ham have been linked with. I mean, what the hell does that even mean, linked with? So I just switch off. I saw a few other players that were mentioned today, a striker from Spain and that, and I just don't even bother.
I think you get the feeling when it's serious or not.
Yeah.
Like I'd said to you about Bergwijn, like we all knew he was locked up in a hotel in Mayfair. Okay, right, it's probably on.
Yeah.
I think we got the feeling, we've all known for a while, that Bruno Fernandes, if it didn't happen now, would happen in the summer, for example, if they couldn't force the money through. You can tell the ones that are genuine, like Danny Rose appears to be up at Newcastle at the moment. We can tell the ones that are serious and are not, and you'll get some mad fabricated rumours on Friday, no doubt about it.
It's I suppose a lot of the agents have a lot to do with it now and stuff.
The thing is, like, you get excited about all these rumours. I mean, Spurs have been linked with well over 100 players this window. We ain't signing 100 players, are we?
No.
So, find out who your reliable sources are at clubs, etc.
Is there such a thing? I think there are a few.
There definitely are. There's definitely people with inside, like maybe like FPL Subscribe, who, I don't know if you know this, his Twitter's gone missing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Since he tweeted last week that he'd heard VVD once out.
I did see the tweets about
and wants to go to Juventus in the summer.
Yeah, and his Twitter account's disappeared.
Yeah. I don't know if it's because of the way people reacted. It's a shame, though, because it's an FPL tool that's gone missing. So we're all relying on Rockstar for confirmation that Jamie Vardy starts for Leicester Saturday morning.
Maybe it's part of this. I saw... I always check the trending topics on Twitter. Rachel Riley was trending. I was like,
that's an instant reason to log off of Twitter, mate.
She was trending because her and the head of the Hate Crimes Commission went to Twitter to talk about Katie Hopkins. You know Katie Hopkins? She was the apprentice and the loudmouth. And she's been banned from Twitter as a result of the meeting that they had. So these two people have gone to Twitter and said, look, she's tweeting hateful stuff. And you need to do something about it. I don't think they had the intention of going like kick her off Twitter, and they've kicked her off Twitter. And she was like one of the examples they've used. And I'm all for not putting hateful stuff out there, but at the end of the day, they'll regulate some stuff and not regulate others. I think it's nonsense. And he's not. I think FPL Subscribe, but he's just talked to the player wants to leave. He's not.
He called it spot on about Rashford as well, didn't he?
Broken any laws, has he?
Because he tweeted on the day before United played Liverpool, didn't he? It's like,
he's out for a while.
He's fucked, right? He's going to be out for months. And people were like, yeah, all right. And then it very quickly became apparent it was true. I guess he obviously had some insides in the media or something, or knows an agent or something. I don't know or care how the guy's getting the information, but he's been pulled, he's within a club, and he's been told you need to lock this shit down. Someone's found out. Who knows? Yeah,
could be. Well, you never know. Hopefully that kind of stuff may come back soon. That's it. What's happening next week?
My South team's killing your North team.
How?
I don't know yet.
I didn't even put a triple captain on this. I want to save it.
I know you didn't.
I want to save it. You did beat me by 4 points this week.
I saw 55 points with no Liverpool's all right, mate.
Yeah, 51 with
I wish
Mane.
it was my main team this week.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Next week we've got a full schedule, usual shenanigans, main podcast, bit of Tottenham, Sky.
All that, yeah. Sean and we're getting Mig back on. Everton Crystal Palace, Clash of the Correspondents Thursday. And we'll do this again next Friday.
Are you away or home? Remind me on Sunday.
We are at home.
So you'll be live at the game.
I'll be there.
I have been umming and ahhing about this Brighton game. Like, it's really bad when you feel like, you know what, I can't be asked to go, but I'll be there at Brighton on Saturday as well. I think without a doubt, the most important game of our season so far by a long, long stretch. That's like the definition of a 6-pointer. We lose that, and it's going to be a horrible, horrible place to be, London Stadium. It's going to turn hostile. Good
news is, if you lose on Saturday, you got Man City next.
There was a phone-in on TalkSport as I was driving home yesterday.
And then Liverpool after that.
Yeah, don't worry about it. TalkSport's controversial at the best of times, but the question raised was, would you take relegation if it meant that Gold and Sullivan would sell the club straight away?
That's a spin on what I asked you last week, isn't it?
But it is. But they had a few fans that came on that would take relegation right now. Whether or not it comes with the board leaving, either way, would still take relegation if it meant we could get rid of a lot of the overpaid players who are not performing right now. I personally would never take it. I've been down and up, and it's not as bad as you think it's going to be, but I wouldn't take it right now. I don't think I'd ever take a relegation, no matter what, with the ownership.
I'd miss you.
If you get relegated, would you take relegation to get rid of Jose Mourinho?
No. That's not that bad.
Nah. But
No, I wouldn't. No, of course I wouldn't. It's ridiculous.
I just think you can't wish for relegation for your own club.
Listen, if we fight in relegation, he won't be there to see out the end of it. It'd be someone else in charge anyway, right? So,
Sam Allardyce.
Yeah, Big Sam would get us out of it, yeah.
And as they'd say on Top Gear, on that bombshell, because, Sam Allardyce as Tottenham manager is something I'd love to see. We'll be back at you next week. To all you listeners, subscribers, do hit like and comment and share the podcast with all your FPL playing friends and family. And good luck with Game Week 25. I hope it's kind and gets you green arrows. Ciao for now.
No. None of this ciao for now shit, right? Planet FPL Live.
Oh, yeah.
The tickets at the reduced price ends
tomorrow.
Today.
Well, yeah, we're going out Friday. 31st of January, midnight. The early bird £7.50 tickets are done, and then it goes up to £9. And if you're booking in groups of 3 or more, you can still get £7.50 tickets, but otherwise it's £9. So do get yourselves on. We've got 45 people already registered to come down, and we're 3 weeks away. So it's going to be at least 70 or 80 people. We may be closing it off at between 80 and 90 people just for logistics. Quiz in the second half of the show with a cash prize, 2 great games, everything. It's going to be good. I'm really excited, and we've got a good...
I've done about 2 great games. Spurs are one of them.
Yeah, it's Chelsea, Spurs, and Leicester City, Man City. They're going to be 6-goal thrillers, each of them. Come on, we're marketing here, James.
Okay, yeah.
Do try and come down to the Manchester event. I feel quite relaxed about it now, I'll be honest with you. First 45 people are in, and it's going to be good.
Know that we're not completely wasting our time.
No, exactly. Excited about that one. So do find it on Twitter, or if you go to Eventbrite and just search Planet FPL, it will come up as Planet FPL Live 3, the Manchester one. Manchester, baby. Let's make it happen.
Cool. Now you can do your bit.
Ciao for now.
Cue music, man, ciao. Good luck, everybody.
The Fantasy Football Show.